Okay, so we're here to give some advice today to a lady who'd like to change her tattoos, it seems like. So you might be particularly helpful for this one.
Oh, I guess we'll see.
She is asking Remy, but I mean, you are a woman, so you would know better than me.
Nah, not necessarily.
Potentially.
Anyways, so we say, "Hey Remy, I have some very colorful tattoos on my arm and chest, and I've outgrown and recently became very interested in blackout work and ornamental. I'm looking for ideas / inspiration / advice about what my opinions are or options. Sorry, I am not at all interested in laser removal. I would black
You were.
I would black out my arm without a doubt, but the problem is that I no longer want color on my chest, and I'm not sure how to go about this without just blacking everything out. I want it to look pretty and feminine with no color. I'm also unable to go up onto my neck and hands as I work in an office. I was thinking about using the empty spaces that I do have for negative space floral designs and black out the rest."
So I have a number of things to say on all of that. Like, not the least of which is, like, I think that whole thing about being in an office and not being able to have tattoos visible is probably almost done.
Almost. I
Like-
think there are a few offices. There are a few offices where I think it does still matter. I think that
I think it's rarer and rarer by the day.
I think they're gonna be going pretty soon.
Also, I think it makes a difference, like, what it is, too. Like, the way that people react to tasteful versus distasteful work, or quality versus bad quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are starting to, like, judge more on what it is rather than, like, or the tonality of it. So, like, her having a nice tattoo on her hand of a rose is not the same as Incro Alpha's full demon face tattoo from Massacrov.
Yeah, I think
It's
so.
not the same in the collective. It's the same for me,
Yeah,
but nobody gives a fuck what the tattooed weirdo down the road thinks.
I don't know. I've
It's been the same for me all along.
particularly lawyers. I've seen lawyers who have had tattoos like covered, but not hands and necks. Lots of and people who work in lawyers' offices. That seems to be a profession that's still holding on to that.
I think these days most places are just happy when someone shows up to work with a fucking work ethic. Most people don't anymore.
Yeah, and I also think that, like, Canada, I don't know where they're at, but in Canada, it seems that our workplaces really could care less at this point.
Oh yeah,
as
well,
long as
everybody
it's
has
not
tattoos.
anything offensive. We tattoo a lot of nurses, EMS.
Doctors, big doctor just got a full sleeve from Terry. It's, like, the thing is like more and more it's the case that if you're an adult, you have tattoos.
Yeah, especially like our age group. But
Well, not even just, but like the only people who don't are like 70 plus for the most part. Like it's even our parents' age.
right.
Like they're having tattoos too, most commonly. If not just a few, then many, you know? So I don't think that that's really going to be an issue for much longer. With that said, like, I don't know what the hell this thing is.
It's a
snake with like a flower on its head.
Yeah, not on it. I
like
don't think it's on its head.
Kind of looks like it has like a unicorn horn because it's got like the point of the leaf there, like directly above its head. It looks like that's coming off of it like a horn.
Yeah, I think we're missing the head because it's under the shirt a little bit too.
Yeah, definitely. That would always be better if you could see the whole thing.
When this was new, I think this was probably a cool tattoo.
I don't hate it. It's different.
I think like your options for this, because you want to go black ornamental, are hard because like black ornamental is usually fairly dainty. I find.
I don't see so much of an issue, but I don't mind working in large scale.
My right away thought is just blast over it.
And like what I would do is probably like, obviously the arm is easy enough to black out.
I would blast over this with that cool scratchy ornamental stuff.
I see so many, and I've mentioned this before, so many like pretty good looking women getting into heavy black work these
Yep.
days.
It really accentuates the female form.
It's become like a fashion thing.
Yep.
Like it's everywhere, and it wasn't even just a couple years ago. Like it's been like the last 2-3 years. It's like fucking everywhere.
It is, I
It's
agree.
not everywhere in life,
No.
but like on Instagram, it's fucking everywhere. Like they're all over the place, and I understand why. And like most people who were getting into black work for a long time ago knew this was going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it usually takes up more real estate than people are thinking. Like usually when it starts, it doesn't end anytime soon. So you end up with like at least most of your body in heavy black pieces. You can arrange them in some way if you want, but once you get into that kind of work, it's like, oh, these little images that you once thought are cool, you start thinking more in aesthetics and stuff, and it's less like tacky decorations and shit like this.
Yeah,
I like tacky decorations too.
I more
but
often than not am looking at my patchwork sleeve these days and thinking, maybe I should just black it out.
I think it would be cooler if it was blacked out, but then I would want you to have like a chest panel go across too.
Right.
And so this is where I'm saying with her, like, this is pretty easy for me to understand, but you have to go down onto your sternum, like
Yeah.
down to your abdomen here.
Yeah, I think you would want to bring it lower and then at least bring it it doesn't have to go past your collarbones, but I would bring it over your shoulder.
It has to go past the collarbones
think
a little
so?
bit.
I
You
think
can't
that,
meet the end of that leaf with nothing. There has to be some kind of a design.
But that's the direction I'm saying to go.
You
I
go
don't think
like
she needs to go that much
Right over
up here.
You still have to work a little bit over top of where this design ends.
Yeah.
And especially because it doesn't end on the same spot on each side.
Yeah.
So one side is higher than the other. So yeah, just naturally it's going to probably go up onto the bottom of your neck and like not where it will be visible outside of a shirt.
Oh, for sure.
But you can build like a big black shape here, and then you can get into it with black on black and white on black detailing later. You could leave some kind of an ornamental finish where the black ends on either side. But like you can get in and create those details that you would have with negative space through the use of black and white on black. And like it would be something like what I have of my roses on my face.
Yeah.
Like it's not blurry and it's not dull if you do it right.
Either that or you just go with like a blast over.
I
and
don't
then
think-
go heavy on the black.
She doesn't sound like she wants something gaudy like that.
Nope, but those are the two options I think that there are with this piece is either you go heavy black and then do black on black and go for the ornamental, or you do the daintier but you do it with heavy black and blast over.
I just think you go fucking full blackout with this chest piece if you want that look. I don't think that there's much point messing around with something where you're going to be able to see bits of this color through it. I think that's going to drive her nuts. It sounds like she's not into this at all.
No.
And she wants every bit of it gone. Like it doesn't sound like she wants to see any of this stuff anymore.
No, I mean, you don't got a lot of options there then.
I think she has, in a way, every option she wants. You could do, if you black this out, you could do a fucking full penis on top of this in great detail.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? Like you could do whatever you want over blackout, whereas with a cover up traditionally, you're limited. Like if you were to try and cover this like traditionally, you would be giving whoever did it whatever discretion. Like do whatever works, boss. And then all of a sudden you've got like a underwater horror scene with lots of fucking hard purples and black and fucking all kinds of gross shit everywhere that you don't want. That's the problem with like conventional cover-ups, right? Whereas with the blackout option that we've seen here, like what happened with Alicia's leg recently, I'll show that in here. Like you can get something feminine out of a blackout.
Yeah, I think Alicia's turned out really pretty.
Yeah, that's a full color one, which
I
is
think,
even
like,
harder than white and black on black.
I think you'll be able to bring a lot of the ornamental kind of look in with the way that it finishes too, like the way it comes down onto your sternum where it finishes there.
Yep.
And then when it comes up onto your shoulders where it finishes there, where it meets your other arm where it could possibly be a blackout, that finish, how ornamental that is, I think will be like a key.
Yeah,
That
of course.
shape that you get, that's going to be a key to making this piece feel very feminine. And then when you start adding in your black on black and your white on black, you're going to be able to like, you're going to be able to do like the pretty floral and the little like
time,
dainty stuff,
because we aren't there yet, but you can mark my words and quote me on this. In a very short period of time, relatively, people will be doing these all the time, and it won't seem like a crazy thing.
No.
Right? What I'm saying right now, some people are like, oh, well, it's easy for you to say. It's like, no, it's not easy for me to say nothing. Like, you black this out, you're in a cocoon for a few months, and then you do whatever the fuck you want.
I think this process, like this...
this is the way farther.
Well, this process that you're doing, it seems daunting to people, but I think those people...
Oh, you don't want to get into laser.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is those people have no understanding of how... Because they just see those videos. And I recently saw a TikTok where a woman was like, she was like 2 or 3 years into a laser, and it looked the same.
Yeah, of course.
It looked brand new. And like the woman was complaining, like she's had hundreds of laser sessions, and this tattoo hasn't budged.
Well...
and she's like, oh, it doesn't look like pretty and frosted like it does in the videos and just disappeared. No, because it's a lie. Laser doesn't work.
Those videos shouldn't go up.
Yes, exactly.
Because it gives like very lazy people and not very intelligent people the wrong idea.
I think that like sometimes laser can work. I just think it's very special when it does.
It can absolutely work, but like it's the difference in I'm lasering one girl's nipples, like her fucking line work.
Yeah.
And that line work was barely there, and there wasn't much in there, and it's going pretty quick. Versus Ashlyn's blown out leg tattoo, which I've lasered 6 or 7 times, and it's barely changing.
Barely budging, yeah.
So it's like, and I'm not doing anything wrong, and I'm not doing anything differently.
No.
I'm using the laser the way that it is intended.
Right.
So sometimes that's just the road. So you can do that for the rest of your life if you want.
Yeah, you could laser, but
This is going to take, if she did get into laser, this would be a very, very long road to go.
I think more often you just want to go with a blackout and start fresh.
Well, the thing is people still are having a hard time wrapping their minds around that, even though there's tons of information about how it's done now out there. There really is. There's no good excuse for the skepticism, but it remains.
Yep.
But like, that is the best road to cover this.
I agree.
Absolutely is 100% the best road. And anyone who doesn't think so just doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we do cover-ups every day at the shop.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. I've seen this done every which way. Every which way. We work with a guy who's been doing cover-ups for 20 years plus. And it's like, the best road I've seen is this. I've never seen people be able to get whatever they want any other way. Because it's always, even when he does the cover-up and it looks great, you have to leave everything up to his discretion. What colors are used, the subject matter, how things are arranged. Whereas when you do blackout cover-ups, you get to do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
So.
All right. So I'll read this next little waffle. Says, hi, found your YouTube this past week and watched a lot of your videos. I have a general question about doing a full cover-up tattoo over a blackout, since you have a wealth of first-hand experience with it. Is there a certain amount of time someone would need a blackout sleeve to heal and rest before beginning the color cover-up, such as a floral piece? I have 2 incomplete full color sleeves that I would like to rework and avoid 7 or more sessions of laser removal to get the point.
7 is modest in some cases.
And we were just talking about this, so I think this fits really good. Any input would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. I think we kind of.
Well, we did, but like there are a few things to mention there. I'm not even going to touch the laser because we just went over all that.
Yeah.
But the time it takes to cover is whatever you want. Like, go watch my head tattoo videos from last year if you haven't, and you will see that in 3 weeks' time, we went from full blackout to covered with white and black on black and red on black. And in a month's time, that was done. We didn't even let the fucking ink dry, essentially. You could do it that soon. It was more of a fight that way,
What is ideally what
Ideally
you
would
say?
be as long as ideally would be as long as possible. Like ideally would be 10 years, 20 years, right?
Yeah.
Like ideal is whatever. Like realistically, it also will depend on how solid the blackout is and all these other things. Like there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like Ashlyn's arm is ready to go anytime.
Yeah.
And that hasn't even been a year.
I think like Alicia's is also a good example.
Yeah, she did 3 months.
She blacked it out, waited 3 months, and then started the color process. And I think that the color is taking really well.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, and like my back was I think 6 months, but like I could have done it earlier than that. I just had other things going on. My chest we did in 3 months. That was a bit of a fucking hustle because Rick's black is fucking
solid.
It's super black.
Yeah.
Like if you see the outline that we had on that thing, it was like insane. But like it still worked. Mm-hmm. So you can do it more or less whenever you want, and it will be faster than laser.
Yes.
Like there's zero argument about it. I've seen enough of these now. And I've seen this done on regular folks too, because people are always thinking, oh, it's just people who are around the shop all. No, we got a guy who comes down from a work camp like once every 6 months. Terry put a wing on this guy.
Yep.
After a couple sessions of blackout, they've done 2 passes of the white. I just seen it the other day, and it still looks like the same as it was last time I seen it. Mm-hmm. So it's like this works for anyone. But that guy was not. He wasn't ideal either. Like he tapped out a couple times too, and he made his life harder. Like that guy could have had it done quicker, but he tapped out. Like that could have been a few sessions.
Yeah.
But he couldn't sit for all of it, so it was longer than it needed to be.
All right. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah, sure. I forgot how much there was in here.
Yeah, this one.
That's all right.
We got a lot. So this one says, "Hi, Remy. I'm a fellow Albertan. Well, hello. And have been watching your videos on YouTube for a while. Your white/color over black journey has inspired me to go on my own blackout/new sleeve adventure. Yay! I'm going to be blacking out my full arm sleeve that I've outgrown since I was 17. Laugh out loud. The ultimate goal will be a white, gray, and black sleeve over top of the blackout once healed. I'm sure you get hundreds of questions every day, but I thought I'd shoot my shot. With the end goal being another sleeve over top of the blackout, should my artist be aiming for full 100% black saturation or like a 90% black ink saturation so the new blacks, grays, and whites pop more on the new sleeve, eventually going over top of it? In other words, should he be attacking my arm with the intention of the blackest of black?
I would get it as dark as he can, yes.
Saturated blackout through multiple sessions. How long would you recommend letting the arm heal before the new sleeve? Same thing. Expertise is appreciated.
Everybody's like, this is the problem, right? I want to say right away, this is the fucking problem. Like, everybody is like, I want this done today. Like, you're not getting a cover-up done today.
I don't know if this is that.
This is the thing. Because they're always leading with, like, how long should I wait until I cover? It's like, you probably like the blackout more than you think, first off. Like, Ashlyn has come to love her blackout sleeve.
And I think, so like, as time goes on, so for a while, and I say this, like, don't get a blackout sleeve lightly, because it does come with a lot of staring and some weirdness that you might have to get used to, and some awkward questions online sometimes.
Maybe, but like, I think that's the changing of the situation.
I think it's changed quite a bit.
But
in the last year.
I think that in the next few years, blackout will mostly be, or a lot of it will be seen as like, oh, they're going to cover that.
Yes, I think so too.
I've already seen people going, oh, he's probably, when they'll see a blackout sleeve and someone will be hating, they'll be like, oh, they're probably going to do white work over top of it.
Yeah, and to me, I think that like, you want to go for a smooth black.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want a patchy black.
Like the 100% black thing is just kind of like whatever. You want it to be smooth, because like when you're doing these new tones over top of it, your artist doesn't want to have to work around the patchiness.
It's the same problem as a cover-up normally,
right? So as long as it's smooth, I think it's okay.
Well, you want it to be mostly the same depth of darkness everywhere, or else you're basically covering some version of black and gray.
Yeah.
Right, and then you're gonna have like, red went in some places lighter and darker.
There'll be a variation in tones, and you don't want that. That's why, like, we would say go for the 100% black, because you know that's completely smooth.
Yeah, you want
right?
it to be all the same tone of black so that every color you put in is interacting at the same level.
Yes.
And then it will need the same amount of work everywhere, right? Like, my leg is perfect for that. Like, it's like pretty much like just a solid sheet of the same color. So whatever the hell I start on that, it's like, it's going to be just like, oh yeah, the red goes this color when you put it in, you know? So I would definitely recommend doing this the darkest, smoothest black you can, and give it a few months. I would say, if you don't want a real fight on your hands. I was willing to do that. My head was barely healed when we covered it.
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to be wanting to do that.
I mean, with everything, the longer that the ink is settled, the better. But if you're in a hurry and you want to really get started on the project, a few months.
Also, like, another thing, because like I just touched on this quickly about laser, you can't laser a new tattoo right away. And once you have lasered something, you also can't tattoo over it for quite a while.
Right.
So not only does laser take forever to do, you also can't start it right away, and you can't work over it immediately after.
And you're still not fully getting rid of the impression of that tattoo. If there is any scarring or texture to that tattoo, it is staying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to beat laser to death. Again, I do it here at the shop, but it's really only best for certain. There's like, if you're trying to get rid of something and you really don't want it, like, maybe then that's going to be a lifetime in some cases anyway.
Yeah.
Or if it's very small.
Advanced enough yet for us to be able to get the outcome that we imagine that it should have.
Certainly not what people would like it to be.
Yeah.